that you are accusing.
Yes, I am
Matchroom?
Or yes.
Okay, say it.
You guys blocked me from getting out.
Say it.
You know, because
Matchroom.
Who else
Okay.
could have been?
Go on, say it.
Why was I in an ambulance?
Say that Matchroom. Why was I from going to the hospital?
Why was I what? So you can try and sue me with your little lawyer.
Not at all. Don't worry about that.
Okay.
I think you're talking about the wrong guy.
Me. You're not
say it.
To be out there.
Say it.
These are the levels.
You talk shit.
These are the levels of
we stopped you.
Generosity.
The toenail was falling off.
These people will go through. How famous and popular you were, even more famous than me.
Oh, that's impossible. You're the people's champ.
What? But you said it.
Oh, you are.
Said you're even
getting
more famous than me.
Grannies and children and throwing themselves at you like you're the Pope. It's incredible.
Absolutely.
And even with half a toenail. But I can't believe it.
The fact
that's interesting. The fact is, you're telling us we stopped your ambulance from going to the hospital.
A glorified desk jockey.
Desk jockey?
That's what you are.
Okay, that's interesting.
Living off of the back of hard-working fighters. That's what you are. So the fact that you can sit here talking about how popular and famous you are.
What I don't have is someone lying about what happened on the night to try and gain more popularity.
Ego and narcissism we're dealing with.
About all the bullshit you want to.
I don't need to make anything up. It's all documented.
You're playing the victim.
It's all documented. I'm not
we see through you.
I won the fight.
Well done.
There's no victim here. I won the fight.
But don't accuse us of stopping the ambulance and going to the hospital.
Is play the victim, make these wild accusations that you will pay for. Because I'm not having someone accuse me and my organisation of stopping an ambulance. Are you absolutely off your rocker? And we will see what will happen on there. People, they don't even know. There's a log on the night with the paramedics with the British Boxing Board of Control that log exactly what happened. So let's see if Matchroom or me stopped an ambulance on the night. Gloves had horsehair in. The gloves are approved by the British Boxing Board of Control, trying to disrupt him with the weight. It's the contract that they signed. That was different up there tonight. I also wanted to say a few words that I weren't even allowed to say, even when he knew what I was trying to talk about. He ain't a decent bloke, I'm telling you. And, you know, he wants to portray himself, and now he's the people's champ. He's just, all he does is like giving money to the British Boxing Board of Control. He's just called the secretary of the British Boxing Board of Control a scumbag. So he just likes giving money away. I agree with his point about where the money goes. And by the way, the money does go to certain causes for ex-fighters and stuff like that. And maybe a little bit more transparency would be good. 90% of what he says is absolute waffle. And I hope that you're smart enough to see through that.
Well, just firstly, Jamie, obviously, just a couple of, you might just going to say 30 seconds about Ricky Hatton.
No, there's no 30 seconds.
Chris, 1 second.
You know the drill, buddy.
Chris.
You know the drill. I'm not going to sit here and listen to anything you say.
Okay. Then don't
I'm an arsehole, I'm a bad guy, I'm a this, I'm a...
All I was going to do was say a few words about Ricky
I don't want to hear any of your few words.
Okay, I won't say anything about...
Let's move on with the press conference.
You're an arsehole.
I don't want to hear anything from you.
You get what's
I'm going to speak over you for as long as it takes.
You can do that.
We know the drill. Let's move on.
Okay.
You know what? I want to talk about something else.
Chaos erupts. Eddie Hearn slapping Chris Eubank Jr. says it all. Eubank pushed too far with his antics, and Eddie snapped. The truth? Eddie exposed the immaturity. Jr. talks nonsense, dodges accountability, and loses composure while...
I disagree, but we'll see.
Let's talk a little bit about some of those comments that were made then. Obviously, initially, the whole ambulance thing, is that the first you've ever heard of this?
Wild. I'm sitting there, I'm looking at Frank Smith, and he's like this. What? What? I mean, firstly, the paramedics are put in place by the British Boxing Board of Control. So what you're saying is that me and Matchroom went to the ambulance and said, yeah, just delay him 20 minutes. What planet?
That slap lit the fuse for an even bigger clash. Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn. The fallout was instant. Eubank lashed out at Benn, but his frustration only exposed weakness. Instead of focusing on the fight, he cried about Eddie's slap. Meanwhile, Benn looked sharp, confident, and locked in. Truth is...
How much did you weigh then? Listen, that's what you guys agreed. That's what you guys agreed. You guys agreed the 10 pound hydration. We said, well, regardless was agreed with your team are idiots then, didn't they? Because that's what they agreed. You see, my team have my best interest at heart. They obviously don't yours, because if that's done that much damage, you'd bring it up now. Why not bring it now? You wanted to talk about it, it wasn't even a topic of discussion, Chris.
I'm not here to
You
talk
want it,
about
well,
Leeds. That's
exactly.
you
So then
guys.
stop moaning
Oh,
about it.
please.
That's you
So
guys.
stop moaning about
I let
it.
you guys moan about
Oh,
it.
we're good. We're good, man.
I'm here to fight.
We ain't moaned about it once. All we hear is you moaning, Chris.
I haven't moaned about
I feel flattered that you brought a new trainer in. I'm flattered that you brought Beaumac in. Because I know you need it. And he's a great coach. You're a great coach, Beaumac. And I've got love for you, mate, but you can't polish a turd. Apologies.
There, he torched Eubank Jr.'s constant victim act, the ambulance excuses, the glove drama. It's all desperate distractions. Eddie's right, Jr. signed the contracts, then cried foul. Classic trick, but Eddie isn't buying it. He exposed Eubank for what he is, a victim playing.
This is a guy that continuously tries to play the victim. He's moaning about stuff that, one, didn't even happen, two, is within a contract that he signed up to. And, you know, I just felt like the mask slipping. I mean, the stuff about the ambulance was the wildest thing. And that will be retracted. I promise you that. The Robert Smith stuff, I'm listening to it going, this has just got fine written all over it. I mean, the accusations that Robert Smith allowed a set of gloves. They are gloves that are approved by the British Boxing Board of Control that have
exposed the gulf between them. Eddie stuck to the facts, contracts signed, rules agreed, while Eubank spiraled into wild accusations. The louder Jr. shouted, the more rattled he looked. Eddie's calm under fire showed exactly who controls the narrative in this rivalry.
You tried to destroy me, and you did not.
You're talking about, we put things in place that you signed to do.
100%.
You signed.
You tried and you failed, and you're going to fail again this time. You guys are going to do all your little tricks and do all the things you had to try and get my head
Daniels over it.
and derail me. It's not going to work.
We'll see.
Okay?
But you don't talk shit about things that you.
It's the truth.
But it's not.
I know the truth.
No, it's
hard for
not.
you to hear.
Listen, you've already accused us of stopping your ambulance from going to the hospital. That's fair enough. We'll see.
Eubank Jr.'s excuses. While Chris was busy living life, Connor was in the gym, grinding. The contrast says it all. One man obsessed with proving himself, the other just coasting. Eddie's side looks disciplined and hungry, while Eubank's excuses only...
You flew over to America, you're taking pictures of people. Oh, I'm so grateful for the love and the support the fans are showing me. You're going on like you won. You do understand you lost, right?
You want me to finish?
Yeah, it all 10 toenails.
You understand you lost, right? I mean,
I was
illusion of this guy.
Listen, Chris, the reality is, while you were sipping food for a straw, I was back in the gym after the fight, ready for September 20th. Why was you not ready? We was locked in September 20th. So if you want to talk about a little tour, I was training meanwhile. What were you doing?
I was living life, my friend.
Coldwell nailed it. Eubank Jr. crossed the line the moment things got physical. Banter's part of boxing, but slapping faces is too far. Eddie's reaction was a man pushed past his limit, while Junior's antics reeked of desperation. Respect went out the window.
Not surprised.
Does that cross the ane, do you think?
Yeah, it does. Listen, the presser was good. It was a great presser, back and forth, poking each other, but not too far. But once you get physical and you touch a man's face.
The warning is clear. This wasn't harmless showmanship. It carried real danger. A slap across the eye risks permanent damage, and fighters know it. The truth is, Eubank Jr. pushed Eddie Hearn past breaking point with childish taunts and baseless accusations. Eddie reacted, yes, but Chris lit the fuse. Push like that and you risk consequences, and here it nearly turned catastrophic. Bellows' insight cuts deep. What Eubank calls mind games could have ended a career. Eddie's reaction showed frustration.
Slap in the face towards the eye.
In the ear as well.
People have to realise that I've got 2 scratched eyeballs, and the eyeball's the part of the body, it never heals. Yeah. So the best way to explain it is it would be like varnishing a door, and the varnish comes off, and then you've got to re-put the varnish back on. Yeah, nice. The liquid on the eye comes off in the cornea, it gets damaged, and I say I've got...
Slap raised eyebrows. What came next was even bigger. The fight's profile exploded overnight. Bello nailed it. That one chaotic moment flipped the script. Ben versus Eubank Jr. isn't just another domestic clash anymore. It's Britain's biggest fight. Eddie Hearn's slap lit the fuse, turning a grudge into mainstream headlines. Eubank's arrogance gave Eddie the perfect opening to raise the stakes, and now the showdown has snowballed into must-see theater. For fans, it's no longer just about who's better in the ring. It's about settling a rivalry that spiraled into chaos. Eddie's presence makes it massive. Eubank's antics made it inevitable.
This fight's just took another toll.
It's absolutely grabbed the public interest now to another level, hasn't it?
This is quite simply the biggest fight this country's ever seen.
Smith puts it into perspective. In boxing, drama comes with the territory. No one condones slaps at pressers, but history proves it only fuels the hype. Eddie's reaction may have crossed a line, but Eubank Jr.'s provocation crossed it first. The result? This fight is front-page news. Smith's calm breakdown reminds us controversy and boxing have always been inseparable. From weigh-in brawls to press conference chaos, it's what sells tickets. Ben Eubank already had history. Eddie's slap amplified it tenfold. Now all eyes are on the ring, because fans know fight night will deliver fireworks.
The casual fans, do we condone it? I mean, in boxing terms, should that happen at a head-to-head? Of course not, but these things do happen. This is the fight business, and it's just made it even bigger, and we wait to see what...
Eddie Oladipo's disappointment says it all. A face-off between Eubank Jr. and Ben would have been pure theater. But after the slap chaos, maybe the organizers knew it was too risky. With Eddie already cranking tension sky high, a direct clash could have tipped it over the edge. Eddie's nod to the legendary Groves rivalry shows just how big this is becoming. And the irony, Eubank Jr. talks legacy, but it's Eddie and Ben driving the buzz. Without Eddie's fire and Ben's hunger, Jr.'s arrogance wouldn't draw half the interest.
So today's like the media day. We're doing a bit of face-offs. Obviously, they're not doing a face-off with each other, which is a shame, because that would have been as good as your...
Jordan sums it up. This is now must-see boxing. Even fans who weren't interested are glued to it. Why? Because Eddie Hearn's slap turned the build-up into pure chaos. Chris Eubank Jr., with his arrogance and excuses, thought he controlled the narrative, but Eddie stole the spotlight, showing who really commands respect in this sport. The fact that voices like Jordan are calling it unmissable proves how massive this has become. People aren't tuning in for Eubank's charisma. They're watching because Eddie and Ben lit the fire. Jr. is now the villain, the agitator, while Eddie stands firm, making sure fans get the spectacle they've been waiting for.
I'd be there obviously on the night, but if I wasn't there,
what have you made of the antics?
I would be watching it.
What have you made of the antics? Do you think
hits a nerve? This wasn't just disrespect toward Eddie Hearn, it was disrespect toward the sport itself. In boxing, there's an unwritten code: respect the people who built the platform you stand on. Eddie has done more to elevate British boxing than Chris Eubank Jr. ever has, yet Jr. acts like mouthing off earns him clout. Nelson's right, it struck everyone's emotions. This wasn't just an attack on Eddie, it felt like an insult to the whole boxing community. Eubank's arrogance has always been there, but now it's spilling into outright toxicity. Eddie's slap wasn't about ego, it was about drawing a line. Disrespect the sport, the promoters, and the fans long enough, and someone will put you in your place. Eddie did exactly that.
What Chris did, when he mentioned it in the last press conference, I thought, why is that just slid on the radar? Why does nobody make a big deal of that?
It was a class touch,
That's
man.
a massive touch.
Yeah.
And so all of the promoters, all of them, all of the promoters that are out there, and all of the guys that have got the big bucks, and they're on the top of the card and the fight.
Anthony Joshua's words on one-punch power cut deeper when applied to this drama. Boxing has always been about fine margins. One punch, one moment, one slap can flip the narrative. Eddie Hearn's slap wasn't a knockout, but symbolically, it was just as heavy, shutting down Eubank Jr.'s arrogance in a flash. AJ reminds us of the danger fighters carry, but ironically, it's Eubank who forgot the danger of running his mouth. He's been hit verbally by Ben, slapped down by Eddie, and now even stars like Joshua are weighing in because the fallout is that big. That's boxing chaos sells, but beyond the headlines lies the lesson: disrespect has consequences. Eddie proved it with his hand, Ben will try to prove it with his fists. And the world will be watching to see which lesson Eubank Jr.
Just off the top of my head, those are guys that I mentioned that he's hit with one shot and knocked him out. So you can see he carries that one punch knockout power, and as we know, that's what it takes in the heavyweight division.
ERUPTS wasn't just a headline, it was the reality of this press conference. Eddie Hearn's slap on Chris Eubank Jr. was the boiling point after months of arrogance, excuses, and disrespect. Eddie drew the line, showing he won't be pushed around, while Eubank Jr. looked rattled, exposed, and desperate. Conor Benn, on the other hand, came across sharp, focused, and hungry, the exact opposite of Jr., who hides behind talk instead of action. This fight has gone beyond boxing. It's personal, emotional, and impossible to ignore. If Eubank Jr. wins, he saves face and silences the critics. But if Ben shocks him with Eddie in his corner, it could be the end of Jr.'s credibility. So we ask you, who's mentally stronger, who really wants it more? Is it Ben and Eddie's camp, or do you see Eubank Jr. pulling off the upset? Drop your thoughts below, the debate starts now.